As you listen, as you breathe, as you notice how effortlessly the mind opens to new possibilities, isn't it fascinating how some questions simply begin to dissolve? Because long ago, before you learned to question yourself, before you learned to wonder if you were enough, there was a time when you simply were. A time when you moved through the world without hesitation, without doubt, without chasing anything at all. Because you already had everything you needed inside. And now as these words sink deeper, you may find yourself remembering, or perhaps just feeling, how natural it is to let go of the need to be liked. Because wasn't that just an old pattern, an old program running in the background, a habit you picked up somewhere along the way? And isn't it wonderful how the unconscious mind can simply update old programs, rewrite old scripts, and install something new, something powerful, something unshakable? Because the truth is, people's opinions, they come and go. And what they think of you has more to do with them than it ever did with you. What's even more interesting is that as you begin to feel this new certainty growing inside, you may notice the more you let go, the more people are drawn to you without effort, without trying, just because you are. And those old fears, those old worries, those concerns that once felt so heavy, they're already beginning to drift, fading like mist in the morning sun, because the past is just a story. Isn't it wonderful how a story can change, how a story can be rewritten in a way that empowers you, strengthens you, reminds you of who you've always been? Wasn't it funny how the mind, it used to assume that others' opinions mattered more than your own, and yet as you hear these words, as something deeper awakens within you, you realize the only voice that truly matters is the one inside, the one that knows, the one that's always known. And maybe as you notice this shift, you can begin to wonder what it feels like to simply trust yourself now, to completely, effortlessly, deeply. Because as these words settle, something inside you has already changed. You don't even have to think about how. You just know. You're stepping into a new way of being. A way of being that's lighter, freer, more powerful than ever before. Isn't it fascinating how easy it is to move forward now, as if the past never had any power at all? Because as you breathe in this new sense of self, this new certainty, this unshakable confidence, you realize you were never meant to chase. You're always meant to lead. As these words, these thoughts, these new truths settle deep inside, in just the right way, in a way that will continue to grow, continue to strengthen, continue to transform you in ways you don't even have to think about. You might find yourself wondering how much more incredible life becomes when you finally allow yourself to simply be. Because as you listen to these words now, or maybe just let them drift deeper inside, something's already happening, isn't it? Because the mind has been asking these questions over and over. But isn't it fascinating how the questions themselves, they already assume something had to be true, when in fact something else has always been more true, waiting just outside of awareness until now. And I don't know if you've noticed it yet, but something inside you, something deep, something real, has already started shifting, like a river that used to flow one way, but now it's naturally finding a new, easier path, a better path, a path that feels so much more you. Because really, whose approval did you ever need? You were born whole, weren't you? Before you even knew what approval was. Before you ever learned to seek it. There was a time when you simply were. And if you were once whole, then isn't it obvious that you still are? You always were. And as you notice that now, maybe you're already wondering why you ever thought otherwise. Because isn't it strange how the mind, It used to chase something it already had, as if a bird searched for the sky, or a fish wondered where the ocean had gone. And the moment you see that, the moment you really see that, something inside just lets go. And maybe, just maybe, you're already noticing how that old need, that old pattern is dissolving, melting, fading like mist in the morning sun. Because now you see things differently, don't you? People's opinions, they're just their opinions. And people's judgments, well, they belong to them, not to you. And it's funny, isn't it? How something that seems so heavy can suddenly feel light, irrelevant, almost amusing. And you may find in the coming days something strange begins to happen. You walk into a room and you no longer wonder what people think of you, because you just know it doesn't matter. And instead of seeking approval, you notice something else, something new, something powerful. People are drawn to you, not because you need them to be, but because confidence, true confidence, the kind that comes from deep within, is magnetic. And the moment you stop chasing, people start coming to you. And isn't that an interesting shift? One that you don't even have to try to make, because it's already happening right now. And trust. Isn't it funny how easy it becomes when you trust yourself first? Because the moment you do, the right people appear. The ones who are meant to be there all along. And suddenly, you just know who to trust. Because that part of you, that part that always knew, is awake now. And as these words settle in deep inside, in ways you don't even have to think about, you may begin to realize loving yourself was never something you had to learn. It was just something you had to remember. And as you remember that now, you may also notice how easy it is to forget about the past, to let it go, to step forward into a future that's already waiting for you, full of light, full of possibility, full of joy, because now you know who you are. And that's right.